So Jeff, one of the things that I know for certain over 22 years of selling houses is that buyers buy on a payment that they're comfortable with, right? So no matter what the prices of homes, no matter what the prices of interest rates, it all boils down to a payment, if they can afford it or not. And one thing that I know is that with the rise in rents, tenants are now coming out and saying, I don't know if I can afford this rental payment. And how does that look in comparison to a home ownership payment? So talk to me a little bit about that and what you see from an affordability standpoint for somebody that doesn't have a lot of money down.
There are programs for little or no money down. Some of the government programs, all right, when I say little, I'm talking literally no money down, or maybe 3.5% down under an FHA loan as an example. And at the end of the day, I hear people saying they're paying $1,500 a month for rent. So at the end of the day, you're talking about situations where people are concerned about how much they're paying for rent. Can they buy a home? We have programs with no money down to 3.5% down, depending on what they qualify for. They're nice government programs. They're 30-year fixed rates. They are literally, if you don't have a perfect credit score, you get a better interest rate than you would have, under a conventional loan in the same situations. But what I really see is people are telling me they're paying $1,500 a month for rent. And the reality is you can buy a $200,000 home with no money down and have that same $1,500 payment and start to build equity for your future. It's an awesome opportunity.
There's a lot of houses coming on the market too that are under $200,000 right now, or maybe just a touch over. There's a lot of options out there, and my goodness, thinking about owning that $200,000 home and in 10 years having that extra equity built up so that you can move up to the next home, right? As your family changes or life events are thrown at you and you need to make adjustments, you're just building that equity underneath that foundation for yourself to be able to move on. I mean, I think back of years ago when I helped one of my first clients buy a house, put 3.5% down, bought a $150,000 house, right? He goes to sell that with me 10 years later, and he's walking out the door with $100,000. And he bought it with 3% down. So his investment catapulted him to the next point in his life. And I think that that's something that people can take advantage of right now. And to your point, there are a lot of people that think, oh, my credit's not perfect. How can you help them out?
Yeah, no, for sure. We can help them, get them on a path if they're not qualifying today. But the reality is the government programs give them better interest rate opportunities than they might have in a conventional with the same situation. So,
and just making that home payment more affordable by virtue of that.
Absolutely.
Those are great options. I think there are a lot of people that kind of have shied away from it over the last 18 months, maybe 2 years, because they were getting beat down a little bit when they were going out into the market and having to compete against 20 other offers, and maybe they had an FHA or a VA loan or a WIXX loan, and saying, well, that's not as, a great of financing as a conventional loan with 20% down, and they were getting beat out on these offers. But you and I were talking about how we started to see these trickle back into the market a little bit more as buyer demand got a little, crazy here over these interest rates, and we saw a little bit more inventory coming on the market. This is an opportune time for people to take advantage of these programs.
Absolutely, to step back into the market with this little bit of a shift that we're seeing, right? They now have an opportunity to get back and get involved and take advantage of the market. Absolutely, there's a window that's opening.
So people can give you a call, Jeff, and set up a time to either meet with you in person or go online and do an application right online, correct?
They can do it online at www.jeffanklam.com or give us a call at the office, 920-750-5000.
One of my favorite quotes you've always made is that when you go to get a mortgage, it's never really fun, and that people don't like to get financially undressed more than one time. And I have watched you over the years help lots of clients, take that mortgage application, gather the documents that you need to pre-approve them for a mortgage, which is a huge, big step we need to take in this market. But do it in a delicate manner, and you always make people feel so comfortable. So I can't, scream from the rooftops enough for people to take that step, right? Take the step. If you're finding yourself out on Zillow and Realtor.com and looking at all the pretty houses and window shopping, do yourself the favor, go to your website, fill out the application for that mortgage, and just find out what that looks like. It really can't hurt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody wants a house. Nobody wants a mortgage, right? But we're more than happy to make it very comfortable and easy for them to get involved. We'd love to help them start building wealth through home ownership.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Tiffany.